Hello, welcome to today's video. This is Unit 10, Part 1 of Unit 10 in our new book, or our book, Play Piano Now. So congratulations for making it this far. You've really come a long way. This is pages 114 to, I think we'll go about to 117 or so. And so let's go ahead and take a look to see what's going on here today. So we're talking about in Unit 10 are the flat sign, eighth notes, and dotted quarter notes. So flat sign, as you can see, is when we play one half step to the left or down. Left meaning this way or down meaning this way. And so what we have is a B flat. That's the first flat we're learning about. So we first find B, wherever the B is, and then we move down one half step. So we can actually learn that for all the notes. So B flat, A flat moving down to the left half step, G flat, F flat is actually right here because there is no black key here. F flat is the same as E flat, D flat, C flat, also the name of B natural. So enharmonic notes, C flat, B natural, F flat, E natural. But the more common ones are going to be E and B, not really F flat or C flat. Those have a lot of flats in them, so we're not really comfortable seeing so many flats. So we'll stick with those ones there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. When a flat appears before a note, take a look at that little box. It applies to that note for the rest of the measure. So you may notice that there is the notes G, A, B flat, and notice that B flat written above the fourth beat, it says B flat. It actually, I know it doesn't know flat next to it, but when the flat is introduced to that note, it's going to apply for everything. Whether you have a B wherever, it's always going to be B flat for that entire measure. So the notes for that first measure are going to be G, A, B flat, B flat. Next measure, it introduces a new flat. It's still B flat because it was introduced. And then B flat whole note. Rocket Away is our first tune there. Let's go ahead and listen to what this one sounds like. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mixed articulations for the left hand because of the non-legato nature of the left hand chords. There are a lot of ties though, so make sure that you're holding them for those 8 beats, 2 measures each, okay? So as you can see, not only should you look at the chords spelled out, but also be looking at those chord symbols above, which will give you an indication of where to place or to prepare your fingers, wherever it's going to be, okay? And then for the right hand, there are some B flats. Now, when we decide upon fingerings for B flat or any kind of flat, we usually use the finger that would normally have played the natural white key. So if it's going to be B flat, if it's naturally going to be finger number 3, which is for G position, then finger number 3 will just come a half step down, right there on B flat. Now you don't have to keep it there the entire time because notice not all the B's are going to be flat. Just on measure 4, measure number 7 there, that measure right there, and that measure right there. So it will apply when it is supposed to be on B flat. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen to this again. We'll talk a little bit more about it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeated legato. Make sure the right hand is louder. Then the left hand is going to be softer. And then we lift, still legato. Here comes our B flat here. All legato, lift together. Repeated legato again, repetition of the first 2 measures. Now, when you play that D, it would be a good idea to prepare beforehand that 3 to be on B flat. So it's ready, we lift. Once again, we talked about the whole measure being all B flats. Lift, left hand, come down for A, 3, 4, lift together. Repetition again of the first systems, excuse me. Lift. Get that B flat ready. Good. Lift. Here we go. Just like I mentioned before, when you play that D, go ahead and just put that finger number 3 there on B flat to prepare. Lift. Lift. And then lift while the right hand stays legato. Let's go ahead and play it now and sing. How's my voice today? 1, 2. If you're feeling blue, if you're feeling kinda weary, if you're feeling blue, better hear what I say. Play this rockin' tune, it will surely make you cheery. When you feel in trouble, just rock it away. Not sure what the message is supposed to be encouraging you to do, but whatever. Let's go ahead and move on. Page 115. And we have practice exercise, sight reading. This will be just demonstrated, not explained, because it is your practice time to read these flats. It's all just B flat though, so it's not that bad. All right, so now we're playing left hand B flats here. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure finger number 3, B flat. Now with the right hand. Okay, just one little instruction there. Make sure that you're playing a good dynamic according to what it says. Here we go. Demonstrations to A through D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one. Now for the left hand. And the last one. Very good. Moving on. Page number 116 is write and play exercise. Notice that you're actually exploring or observing more flat notes. There is a box with an arrow pointing to a black key to identify that black or that flat. Go to the white key to the right, and that is the name of that black key. A little bit of instruction about writing the flat sign either on a line or a space. And we're actually going to go here to our, let's go ahead and go up here, and I'm going to show you a little bit about drawing, and I'll just make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so we're going to do this from the bass clef perspective, I guess. Now, when we draw a flat sign, let's go ahead and start off by drawing a note. So here's our note here, and then we're going to put one right here too. Okay, let's just move these a little bit to the side. Right there, and right there, just so we can have some space. Now, when you draw flat, just like the note is either in the space or on the line, we want to do the same thing with the flat symbol. The flat symbol will be in the space on the left side of the note. So it's going to be on the left side of the note, like that. And then if it's on a line, the flat sign or the little tummy of the flat sign will also have the line going right through the middle. And it's going to be on the left side of the note itself. Now you may notice something also when writing the names of these notes in the little boxes. So when we draw the names of the notes themselves with flat signs, it actually goes differently. It's the opposite way. So if we had C, the flat sign would go on the right side of the note name. Or if we had D, the flat sign would go there on the right side. So that's the way we do it when we're writing it out, as in with letters and the flat sign. But of course, when we have it written in the staff, it's done this way, flat sign first, then we put the note. Okay, going back to our music here. So please fill out page 116 with all the flat sign or note names, and then practice playing them. Not only reading the note itself, and it says here that you have to practice drawing the flat signs next to the notes on the left side, remember. And then, of course, you'll play them. Say the note name also as you play. Let's now go to page 117 here on Unit 10. This will be the last for this part 1. Für Ludwig. I think I said that right. I've not studied German really. It says here, this piece is based on one of Ludwig van Beethoven's most famous compositions, Für Lise. And you can listen to that in my channel. I've made a recording of it. It said here, Beethoven dedicated many of his compositions to women. Ain't that true? If you've ever seen his history or read about it, he really loved women. Unfortunately, they didn't really love him back. So like any gentleman who is a musician, I'm sure he's going to write love songs to them in order to attract them to him. Unfortunately, it did not work that way. Let's go ahead and talk about this one here. We're going to play through the melody first, or the music, and then we'll go ahead and talk about it. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Octave lower. Actually, it's right there. Now, as you can see, this is a little bit more challenging than anything we've played before. Not only does it have the sharps in it individually for the melodic intervals, but it also has the flats. Mostly just B flat though, so that's not that bad. Another thing also we may find challenging is the melodies have slurs going from left to right hands. So I would encourage you, of course, to play one hand at a time. Notice that the right hand, when it is melody, sometimes the melody does go into the left hand, but when the harmonies are there, it's always non-legato. You may also notice that the dynamic is piano, so that means the left hand's going to be even softer, possibly even pianissimo. So I would definitely practice playing and saying the note names, making sure that you're shaping the notes, proper legato. D, C sharp, D, C sharp, D, A, C, B flat, G. Holding that for 4 beats. Legato. Lift together. Okay, so it's B natural. I would have put B flat, but that's what the composer wrote. C, A, C, B flat, G. Now here's where we have melody. Now this is a little tricky part here in order for our right hand to lift enough so that we don't lift between D and G. Again, that's very strange how that works. So if we play G, so we have to lift enough so that we create the illusion of whole note and then quarter note So we do lift between G and G when it comes to the right hand, but the lift should not exist between D and G coming from the left hand. And so let me slowly show that again. So notice there is a slur between D and G right there. Same thing when we go back down. Lift. For the left hand, there are lots of rests. This is a repetition of the first system. Making sure the right hand is a little bit louder. Lift together. Here it goes again. And then of course you have that low G there in the bass clef. Okay, so hand separately. Really take your time when making that legato happen between the hands there. Okay, so thank you very much for listening to part 1 here. Look forward to the next parts later on, and we'll see you at next lesson.